Hello there guys and welcome to Aurora 4X. Now I apologise there's not going to be any music in this first session. I do need to make some emails and see if I can actually get any music permission. But anyway, we're going to start our new game of Aurora. Now if you've never seen Aurora, it is a fantastic game and I highly recommend it. I've spent my weekend trying to learn it. So, I feel somewhat confident in the opening stages of the game, so I thought I'd bring Aurora 4X to you guys so you could see it. So we're going to call ourselves United Nations Space Command, basically the UNSC. Oh dear. United Nations... Space Command. Oh dear. I apologise about that, it's really hard to type when there's a giant microphone in your face. Yeah, UNSC. There we go. Right, so Playable Race. So we have different choices of government type. They do have dramatic effects on your empire in different ways. I can't really give you the details because I don't know them myself, but we're going to go with a republic, which I think would sum up the United Nations Space Command fairly well. It's kind of like a republic, I guess you could say. Main empire theme. So basically, this would be the names of ship classes and etc. We're going to go with nations of Earth. We're going to keep the commander theme English, so I can actually pronounce everything. Though we are going to start as a conventional empire. Now you'll see the differences very soon. But you can see over here the number of shipyards has dropped dramatically, the number of start and research facilities have dropped dramatically. I'm kind of tempted to turn this off so we don't have any missile bases for the conventional start, but missile bases are basically representations of the nuclear silos on Earth. And they do give you a certain amount of protection rating, so you do kind of have some protection, but they're not that great, so I guess I'll keep them just for roleplay purposes, I guess. So, right. We'll have no start and tap points, which is fair enough. We're going to have 6 jump points in the solar system, just so we're connected to the rest of the galaxy, or the rest of the galaxy. So, there we go. There's only going to be one other computer-controlled empire. Doesn't mean that there's only going to be one kind of, alien. Basically, over here, the race generation chance. Basically, if we enter a new system, there's possibly a 30% chance that there may be a new race or life discovered. And it wouldn't mean that they would be on the same level as us. They could be primitives, they could be basically Earth before the Trans-Newtonian era, or they could be highly advanced and kick our asses. It's a bit of a random chance game. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grade that then. Okay. So the game setup does take a little bit. It does depend a lot on on the CPU and memory writing speed. So it'll not take too long. But once we're in, we're in. Whenever the game feels like starting, then we'll be ready. Now, I do really enjoy this game. I've spent my weekend playing this, and I've really enjoyed every moment of it. It's one of those games that keeps you coming back for more. And if you like spreadsheets, you'll love this game. Right, there we go. Game setup has been completed. So we can press here, select. And there we go. Now we started in 2025. Now what you want to do to actually get up a screen, because when you start the game you'll come with this sort of screen. So what you want to do is go to system maps over here. Now this looks like, oh my god, what is this UI? Now it looks bad, but we can make it a little bit nicer by turning off asteroids and zooming in. It is handy to have asteroids on, just because it gives you the names of the asteroids. And now these are all real names, by the way, it's pretty interesting. But we'll turn them off for now, just to keep things simple. So, this is the Sol system, the cradle of human civilization. And we have Earth over here. And it looks as though we have an asteroid nearby. So this would be an asteroid, and this would be Enka. Or Enk, I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that one. But yes, we have Earth and Luna. Now, if we take a look over here, we can take a look at our missile bases. Now, these are basically the missile silos, missile complexes that are reminiscent of old Earth's past. But we have entered, or we will soon enter, the Trans-Newtonian era of progress and enlightenment. So what we're going to go ahead is we're going to take a look at these tabs over here. So we have Colonists Summary over here. So that summarizes what you have on Earth. So we can see here that we have an annual wealth creation of 10,000, population 500 million. We'll assume that basically there was like some kind of war on Earth, and we are the remnants of the old Earth, and we are basically a united Earth. The Earth has been united by warfare and just distaste for war. So we can see how many shipyard workers we have. We have 1.1 million, 0.25 million maintenance workers, 50 million construction workers, 5 million scientists, and then 43.65 million available workers. So that's quite interesting. Right, so actual protection level. So the Earth would request 190 protection level. I believe a silo gives you something like 10 or 20 protection. I'm not entirely sure, it may be a little bit more than that, but our actual protection level is 3,120 due to all these silos, so Earth is fairly well protected for now, though we don't have anything to fear as long as we stay within our own solar system, so that's okay. The geological survey of Earth has been completed, tectonics is Earth-like, military academy, we only have one of those. We have shipyards slash slipways, we only have one of those, 5 maintenance facilities, 1,000 conventional industry, this is very important, you'll see soon, 5 research labs, and then just 1 ground force training facility. Not much in the way of fuel, but we don't really need fuel at this present time. So if we go over here to industry, we have about 1,000 industry, which basically imagine it as the industry of nowadays, the dirty industry that it is now. So there's not too much that we could do at the moment because we don't have much research. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to build another military academy. So that will be ready in on the 25th of May 2027. So we'll do that one. Mining and maintenance. So this is very important. Now, these resources here, geranium and thorium, are basically the most important resources. We are pretty lucky that we do have a hell of a lot of geranium. 567,600 tons of geranium. I'm going to go with tons, actually, of geranium, which is okay. Not too much of the other things, which is pretty meh. So at present mining rates, we have about 630 years of geranium, 203 years of thorium, which is going to change drastically. It's going to dry up pretty quickly once we kick into high gear. So we have our shipyard over here, so we're going to change the name. Bowen Manufacturing, Lambert Shipwrights. We'll go with Benson Naval. So this is our initial slipway and shipyard. What we're going to do is we're going to add some capacity to this shipyard. We're going to add about 5,000 tons of capacity. Actually, how much? Right, we only have a stockpile of about 1,000 at the moment. So we'll add about 2,000 tons of capacity, I believe. Yeah, that doesn't cost us anywhere near as much. So I'm going to add some capacity to our shipyard, which should be fine. Shipyard tasks. There we go. Now into the research tab. So we have biology and genetics researcher here. Yeah, we got kind of shafted on these scientists. They are pretty bad. He's okay, but other than that, we got pretty much shafted. So what we want to do is we want to go into construction and production, and we need to look at trans-Newtonian technology. The starting tech for all trans-Newtonian technology. So we're going to have to go with the best person. Now the way it works with these bonuses here is, you can see the research bonus here. So for somebody who's not specified in that field, they only get their initial bonus. So we'd get a 15% bonus to our research rate. While somebody, if they were specialised, they would get 4 times their bonus. So if this person was specialised in construction and production, it would be 4 times that bonus of 15%. So you can see that has a big impact. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create this research project with Oliver Ryan. We're going to research trans-Newtonian technology. So we're going to expect that to be finished by the 6th of May 2029, which is a few years away, about 4 years. So that gives us some time to build up our resources and just start getting things going. Right then, so yeah, I'm happy about the geranium. I wish we had more thorium, but we will be able to find those resources out in the solar system. Thorium, we can really find quite a lot usually on the gas giants. It's very much a gas sort of fuel in a way. It's kind of hard to explain what it is. But basically, the resources are what is known as a trans-Newtonian element. Basically, trans-Newtonian elements are... They don't work like physics would expect them. Basically, with these elements and technologies, we're able to accelerate ships from 0 to their maximum speed instantly, but we can't exceed that speed. We can only go from that speed to our maximum, so it's a little bit interesting. I suppose you could decelerate, but that would take a lot of effort. So, there's not too much to be doing right now. We basically have to wait for Trans-Newtonian technology to be researched. So what we can do over here then is we're going to enable show events down here, so we can see new events down here. New shipping line created, the Atkar Interstellar Colony. That will become important later on. But we really do need to have the Trans-Newtonian technology. I suppose we could possibly design a ship. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and design a ship. So we're going to go with new. We're going to go with new hull. We'll call this the cruiser or frigate. We'll go with the Geo Survey Frigate. There we go. So we'll go with GSF. So the Zambia GSF. Okay. So let's see. Right. Okay, that's important. We don't have engine technology yet. Well, we do. We have conventional engines like rockets and liquid fuel and that sort of thing. But really, we don't have anything proper yet. As you can see, we don't have really many research options. So everything just comes down to researching Trans-Newtonian technology. So we're going to have to really wait for that. So we'll go on 30-day cycles while things happen. Once we build our academy. Oh, actually, thorium production is short on Earth. So what I'm going to do actually over here, we're not producing anything. Well, we are producing something. We're producing about 2 million litres of fuel. But what we're going to do is we're going to stop that for now because we don't need to, and it's going to keep coming up in pop-ups here. What we can do actually is go back over to this tab here, which is basically commanders. It's where you have all your people. So we can see we have a chancellor. It's quite interesting with the way the government works. It does affect what your people are called. So we have president, vice president, prime minister, chancellor, vice chancellor, minister, and dictator, which is an interesting title, I suppose you could say. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to leader type. We're going to go to civilian administrators, and we're going to assign a governor of Earth. So we can see over here there's the ratings and bonuses. Now, this guy isn't very good. He's not that good. This person, though, Charlie, is actually pretty nice. Shipbuilding bonus 20%, wealth creation bonus 20%, mining bonus 20%. Quite a lot of things there. So we'll keep looking through and we'll see what we like. To administrate Earth, you need to have administration skill of 2. So this is 1 here, 3, 3, 4. We're going to go with Charlie K. Charlie K is pretty good. So what we can do is we can select onto Governor of Earth and we can click Assign. So now we have a Governor of Earth, which is pretty interesting. So you can see where he was educated and etc. So he was educated in a normal university. So let's see, leading scientists, we have Oliver Sykes, Oliver Ryan. So basically he is our best guy. So we don't really have any things over here as of yet. But what we can do is we can look at Naval Officers. So as you can see here, we could promote people to basically be in charge of these missile complexes, which is a bit of a waste of time. And then we have Ground Force Officers. So we have Lieutenant General, Major General, Brigadier General, and Colonel. So we have these low-tech infantry regiments and armor, which is really interesting actually. I do like this. So I might promote these people over here just to get them going. So let's see. I'm sure you can auto-sign, is that it? Alright, let's see. We auto-sign this. Yes, there we go. There we go. So they are commanded. So we can assign these people, I guess. There we go. So everybody's been assigned over here. We could do with assigning these people here. They'll gain some experience that way. Basically, having your people command different regiments like this, they'll gain in the experience. That's going to be quite important. So there we go. So we have all our people and all our ground forces commanded. So we can continue as we were, but we can take a look at our mining rate actually now. So with our new Governor of Earth, you can see that that's improved. So we're gaining a Governor bonus of 1.2. So we're getting an extra 200 resources, which is quite important actually. So if we take a look back at our industry, we can see that the military academy will be finished shortly. Now military academies basically produce officers and the like. So we'll skip 30 days. Keep going until we finish this. Actually, that's going to take a lot longer than I thought. Okay, so you can see events down here. So what we'll do is we'll click on this event button here, and we'll have the game keep going. So we'll see this event log keep updating, so we can see a lot of different things. Race colors, I can turn that on if I stop the turns. There we go. Okay, so if we go back into this, what we can do here is we can use race colors. So basically, if there was other race events, so basically contact, combat, you'd be able to see it like this. It's quite nice, actually. And let's see. I think we can change the color. So we'll go for, well, we'll leave it as it is for now. Actually, no, background color, isn't it? So we'll go for blue. Okay, nope. Not what I thought. We'll go with blue. Try blue. No? Okay, I apparently got this pretty wrong then. So we'll go for race colors just to keep it all nice and pretty. And yes, so we'll put that back into action. There we go. Right, so 2,000 tons of capacity has been added to the Benson Naval Yard on Earth. That's quite nice. So, because the research is still going to take some time, we're in 2026, and we're not expecting this to be finished for another 3 years, we can go back to the shipyards and we can add some more capacity. Basically, just add a little bit more. So we'll go for about 2,000 tons of capacity, bring it up to 5,000, which should be quite nice. So that's not going to be done to the 1st of January 2028, so we have some time yet. Okay, so we'll keep time ticking by. Basically, you kind of get a lottery at the start of the game on your scientists, and it's really nice if you get a good scientist who has the field that you require, like construction, but if you don't, it's going to take a little bit longer. Right, so the academy has been finished on Earth, so that's good for us. We'll keep the time ticking by. Okay, so you can see who's been promoted and etc. And how our people are improving due to training, etc. Right, so 2,000 tons of capacity has been added to the Benson Naval Yard, so that's advanced pretty quickly. Now in 2028. So, the Transnewtonian research will be done fairly soon, actually. Almost done. Okay. 1st of December 2028, 1st of January 2029. Be done any time now. There we go. A team on Earth led by Oliver Ryan has completed research into Transnewtonian technology. So you can see a little bit of things that are opening up here, a lot of things over here. And yeah, we have now different areas of technology to research. And thankfully, we have Jordan Nelson, who is specialised in power and propulsion. He has a bonus of 15%, though he can only have 5 laboratories at maximum, which is a little bit annoying. The more labs you can assign to somebody, the faster things tend to go. But we'll deal with what fate has decided to give us. So we're going to go with pressurized water reactors. So basically it's a prerequisite of nuclear thermal engines. So that's what we're going to have to go for. So it's still going to be some time before we start getting things going, but not too long. Right, so 8th of March 2030 is when we'll have our engine technology. Well, we would be able to create a engine, but it's going to be awful. So what we're going to do is basically work towards the nuclear thermal engine technology before we actually design our first ship. We're also going to need some geological surveys, sensors, which would be great for us. Alright, so that's finished now, so let's go back to power and propulsion. And yes, nuclear thermal engine technology. You can show by matching scientists over here, which is quite handy. So we can go back to industry, actually. So we have convert conventional industry to construction factory, fight factory, fuel refinery, mines, ordnance factories. So what we're going to do is we're going to construct, well, we're going to convert about 600 of our conventional industry to the new construction factories, which will definitely increase our construction, which will make everything a lot faster. So it says it'll be finished in 2042, but this will increase as time goes by, due to the fact that more of the industry has been converted to the new... Yes, you can see that's already changing, which is good for us. So we can see how that's going down dramatically with a more construction industry that we convert over to the new Transnewtonian era. Right, yeah, that's going down nicely, so we'll keep time ticking by while we research. So once we have our nuclear thermal technology, we'll be able to go into the design screen and we'll be able to design our first engine, which will be quite nice. I do hope I'm not going too fast. It's a complex game, but it's really not that bad. It just takes getting used to the drop screens and just the different screens and like sheets and etc. etc. It's really pretty simple, I suppose you could say, in different ways. Right, so our technology has been completed over here. So we can go back over here and we can see we have finished that. So there's different theories over here. So we could go for jump point theory, which is something that we're going to go for in the future. Basically, that allows you to create jump engines so you can leave the solar system and travel outwards. But we're not going to go for that one yet. We're going to instead go to, where am I looking? Sensors and fire control over here. So we have two scientists in sensors and fire control. If I could try and train up Marcus Bird, but he's not really worth it. These guys are pretty rubbish, to be honest. But we're going to go with the geological survey sensors. So we'll choose him. Oh no, we'll choose Jennifer Hamilton. So we're expecting that technology to be finished by 18th of July 2032. So not too long. But what we can do in the meantime is go to our Create Research Project screen over here, which is this tab here. We can go to engines, and we can see here we have conventional engine technology. So I'm going to design a nuclear thermal engine, but then I'm going to change it over to conventional engine so you can see how different it is. Basically, what this is over here is we have our engine power. This is at basically its maximum. It's the norm, I suppose you could say. But it also consumes more fuel. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a very fuel-efficient engine. So we go down to half power, which consumes only 0.18 of the fuel per hour, which is quite nice. So fuel consumption. We can research technology to improve this as well. Thermal signature. Basically, there are thermal sensors that you can have mounted on ships or on planets, etc. And basically, the higher your thermal signature, the easier you are to detect. So there's technology to reduce that. Right, so engine size. The larger the engine, the more fuel efficient the engine is. So we can see here we'd use 0.168 litres an hour, but if we increase that to maximum, we'd only use 0.088. Now this engine would weigh 2,500 tons. So what we're going to go for is something about the 30 size, I guess you could say. So that still weighs about 1,500 tons, so our ship is mostly engine, or it will be mostly engine. But the fuel consumption rate is pretty nice. The engine power is 75, which is okay. So if we go back over here, we convert this to a conventional engine. You can see here the power drops down dramatically. Just dramatically. Yeah, there you go. The nuclear thermal engines are just so much superior. So we'll go for a new name. So we'll go for the Shaw Barton turbines, maybe. Hale Heavy Industries commercial nuclear thermal engine. That sounds nice. So what we can do is create that research project over here. We go about our research tab over here. We go down to power and propulsion. And we can see here, Hale Heavy Industries commercial nuclear thermal engine. So that's 75 engine power. That one is going to cost us 188 research points. So what we're going to do is we're going to take away... yes, we'll take away these research labs over here. Go back to power propulsion, create a new research project. So this will be done pretty quickly. About a month or 2 months. There we go. So 2 months, that has been completed. So we can put the research labs back into this. Fantastic. So now if we go over here to what is the design screen over here. So what we can do is go down and find our Zambia. So our Zambia class Geosurvey frigate at 255 tons at the moment. So deployment time over here is how many months the ship is going to be away. Basically, if your ship is out longer than its deployment time, the crew loses morale. They don't die, but they basically get pissy and they don't do their jobs well. And yeah, it's not good. You need to bring them back after that time expires or before that time expires for them to have some shore leave on Earth or whichever planet. So we're going to go with about 60 months. Maybe a little bit longer. It does slightly affect the weight of the ship, but maybe 60, maybe. I mean, that would give us about 5 years worth. So, well, actually, no, 60 should be fine. Right, so we can see here that the ship weighs about 285 tons at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to put one of our Hale Heavy Industries commercial engines on there. Now, it being commercial is very important. Larger engines are commercial, which has a big effect on maintenance. Now, we can see here if we actually add the engine. If I actually add it, there we go. So we've added the engine. So this design is classed as a commercial vessel for maintenance purposes. Now, commercial vessels don't need maintenance as such. It's different with military ships. Basically, you have to have engineering spaces on military ships so that they can basically keep themselves in working order. The more engineering spaces you have, the larger, well, the increased time out in space that you can go before having to bring your ship back to a shipyard to have it retrofitted or overhauled and basically made proper again. Though it's a big match though. The larger the ship, the more engineering spaces you need, and yeah, it's a bit of a battle. Right, so if we take a look at our ship over here, so it weighs 2,150 tons. So what we're going to do is we're going to add. How do I? Oh, right, I don't have it yet, so I'm going to have to wait for my geo survey sensor. So fair enough, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself over there. So we'll keep the time going by. Once we have that geo survey sensor, we should be fine. We have to build our first Zambia class ship, and we can start exploring the solar system. Try and find those juicy minerals, especially the other minerals. I mean, we have a lot of geranium. Was it geranium or geranium? Geranium, I think it was. Right, so the research project has been completed. Fantastic. Let's find something else for them to do while they wait. How is our industry going? Right, yes. So you can see how that's dramatically come down, which is good. Already increasing. We're about 3 times our level before, which is nice. Yeah. Oh, accessibility as well is something I need to talk about. So these guys over here are accessibility 1, which basically at a accessibility of 1, our mining rate is 1,011.4 mineral production, whereas that decreases as the accessibility decreases, basically representing how difficult it is to find these resources. So, yes, going well over here, but when that is done, we can convert the rest of our conventional industry over to maybe mines, maybe a split of mines or fuel refineries, maybe. Then again, we can build some fuel refineries. I'd probably convert them to mines, actually. Go for mines. And then we can start building on some automatic mines for colonization in the future. Right, so 5,000 tons, that's fine for now. So let's go back into our research. So I want to have... What do I want to have? It depends, really. I would like to start having some mining going on in space, but we really need to find out what we have first. We'll take a look over here then. Power and propulsion. We'll just keep going for the power to start with. Power and propulsion, so we'll put these guys on it. But once this industry has been converted fully, and we have converted the mines over as well, so we'll have that queued up actually. So 400. And there we go. So they'll be converted to mines. I'm going to have to have a fuel refinery built. So we'll have 10 fuel refineries built after that, which should be good. And then we can start producing some research labs. So we're going to aim for about 10 to begin with. They're going to take some time to go. Well, some time to build, but you can see here that we have things queued up. So we have our research queued up. So let's go back to our design over here. So the game doesn't really need to be saved. It kind of saves itself in a way. Right, so we have our geological survey sensor over here, which increases the weight of the ship to 2,450 tons, which is okay. Now this is a heavy ship. I could have made this engine a lot lighter for my purposes. I think the size that your engine has to be for it to be classed as a commercial engine is about 25. Ours is about 30, so it's quite heavy. But it's fairly powerful. 75 should result in some nice speed, so that should be alright for us. Okay, so we have a range of 29.7 billion kilometers, which is... That's good. That's more than we need. Yeah, so we should be fine with that. So the Zambia class. It has a fuel capacity of 50,000 litres. I am happy with that one. We don't really need anything else, so what we'll do then is we go back over to our industry. We go back to our shipyards, our managed shipyards, and then we go to task type, retool for selected class, so retool for the GSF Zambia. Set activity. Now, retooling the first time is basically counted as instant and basically free, as it assumes the shipyard was made for that, if you can guess. But if you want to retool this in future, it's going to take time and it's going to be quite costly. Right, okay. So you can see here, construction type. Now there's different things. We could have repair, retrofit, or refit 2, and scrap, which is interesting. But we're going to go with our first ship, so we're going to go with the HMS Ark Royale, which is a nice name. I do apologise for HMS, I'm English, I can't help it. So we're going to add this to task, and we're going to start the construction of the Ark Royale. So this will be finished on the 18th